And that leads me to something we talked about with active listening, because I've taught that for years, and active listening was always show somebody how you're a good listener. Keep the eye contact, lean forward, nod your head, maybe say, mm-hmm. And then we started realizing that's not good enough. That's showing, like you said, it's what you're putting out there, but how are you really feeling? And I came across this Chinese symbol for active listening, and it was fascinating because the different characters, as many Chinese symbols have different types of characters there, one is for your ears for listening, one is for your eyes for watching, and then there's a line that makes you have undivided attention. And all of that's important, and I've taught that for years. But what I love about this symbol is it also shows your mind for thinking and your heart for feeling. And that gets us more towards that empathetic listening, which is now more important. And you hear more about that now than active listening. So tell me about listening with your heart.
I love that Chinese symbol. When I saw your presentation and I thought, well, this is it. This is what we all need to start understanding, and which really is, they're talking about the integration of our mind and our heart. And so it's about communicating from our hearts. But let's be really clear about the heart. And when I say communicate from your heart, it's not about communicating sentiment. It really is about being in a very present, peaceful, compassionate, loving space where you're actually taking the person in when you listen to them. You're not thinking about the next thing that you're going to say. You're not just like looking at them and nodding and full of anxiety. You're like receiving the person in a really beautiful, loving, and compassionate way. So like when I think about Gandhi and what he did, right? He was a man of peace. And he didn't have peace as an idea or as an agenda. The man was living and breathing it in his whole heart and his entire being, which is why he was able to face an army. And because he was holding that, it was a vibration, it was a feeling in his heart, he was able to move forward with so much confidence and knowing that he was going to be okay. Now, he's a master at that. And, for all of us, we want to start learning how to live in our hearts and get a sense of what that feels like beyond sentiment.
It sounds like you're talking also about being present in the moment, not being rehearsed, not completely memorizing what you want to say, but just being in there in that moment so that you can engage and you can listen, but you can speak what you're feeling. And I think that's what's missing. That's when people don't have the soft skills. It seems like that's what's missing.
You're exactly right. I agree with you. That is what's missing. And in our world today, we have a lot of pressure to hit the nail on the head, produce results, show up. There's no space. There's no space for us to pause and be in the silence to actually see what's going to arise, so what we share comes through with this powerful authenticity. And our authenticity lives inside of ourselves. It's not something we can get through a training. We get it through our understanding of our own self-worth. And tying back in with life is your teacher. When we can work with what comes our way and problem solve and use the lessons, then we start to reveal ourselves inside of ourselves. And then we are expressing something with so much ease and joy.
And this sounds so much like what I teach people with public speaking. Many people get up and rush to talk, and it's all about the presence and the stillness. And I think the quietness and stillness is often what exudes confidence.
Right.
Not speaking real quickly and being so ready and rushing to do it. So I'm hearing a lot of that in the way you describe it, and that fits perfectly with somebody who has to get up and give a speech, have a job interview, run a meeting, all of these, that quiet place shows confidence and allows people to process and to think.